I'm Liz Fong-Jones. I'm the principal developer advocate at Honeycomb.io, which is a company that focuses on enabling companies to achieve observability. So the work that I do as a developer advocate is really keenly focused on helping people connect with each other so that they can learn about the best ways to reach observability, and then making sure also that we're taking that input into how we develop our product here at Honeycomb. So while Honeycomb is a closed source product, we have had a number of proprietary integrations. But what I'm working on now is merging those integrations together with a community effort called OpenTelemetry. OpenTelemetry is really focused on enabling people to instrument their code once, regardless of which instrumentation provider they're using, in order to send that telemetry data out to be analyzed. So I've been working a lot on OpenTelemetry to make sure that it's easy to use so that people can migrate over without hassle and then really benefit from having a vendor neutral implementation so that they have freedom of choice and they're not locked into any one particular vendor. So I'm definitely a year and a half now into this job at Honeycomb. And prior to that, I spent 11 years at Google as a site reliability engineer there. And it's been really interesting to observe both having the SRE movement flourish inside of Google and outside of Google, but also to see what is working for people inside of Google and what doesn't translate well to the outside world outside of Google, right? So kind of helping people find those commonalities and helping people find those best practices for working with service level objectives, for working with service reliability, for managing their operational toil. These are all things that I think a lot about in terms of how are we helping people get from here to there? One of the really interesting statistics from the DevOps Research Group's State of DevOps report is that their research shows that there's still a large number of companies that are behind the curve. They're still really struggling with SRE and DevOps table stakes. And I think that that's an area where we have to help those people really get forward and help them get back on this curve of having their productivity accelerate. I'm really excited to tell people about how they can achieve observability without necessarily having to build it all in-house. I'm going to help people really decide when should they adopt from open source, when should they adopt a thing from a vendor, when should they combine all these approaches and maybe add in a little bit of their own custom code. I think that that's kind of the place that people are struggling with observability recently is trying to justify the cost, trying to understand, is this going to take spending millions and millions of dollars on standing up a software development team or hiring a vendor? And the answer is that, no, you don't have to do that. So I'm going to provide that kind of basic roadmap as to how you get to observability. The main thing is that I'm really excited to see these conferences that are focused entirely on observability as a movement in and of itself. That's a change from the past couple of years where observability was viewed as this thing that was an extension of monitoring, but not a thing to focus on in its own right. So having this level of attention paid to have a summit focused on observability, I think that this is really the beginning of that learning opportunity for people. So I hope that you join us for it.